There's a magical show where people come together to do a particular ritual called gambling. And that show is called Money Pot Betting. Let's go. The flag show ship is here. Let's go. Season of gambling is upon us. The football season here, college football, week 0, NFL is right around the corner. Welcome everybody back to another episode of Money Pot Betting. I am the host CEO. They call me Moss Money. And of course, I got my guy with me, been rocking with me for a while now. Was Diddy, was be something. Now we be humble because that's all we are and that's all we can be out here. Humble, what's up, bro, man? How you?
What's up, man? We back, man. Another season. Excited.
Yes.
Football is down the street. Was around the corner. Now it's down the street. We pulling up real quick. Some action this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
First and foremost, representing my squad on
Stop that,
Sunday.
man. Stop that.
Let's go.
You ain't putting no money on there.
Hey,
You ain't putting no money on
I
there.
might
Oh,
take a
you
look.
might. All
I
right,
might
look,
take a look at something.
we're gonna look at the odds real quick and see how much you might put on their thing. If you guys are not familiar with Money Pot Betting, we are a gambling show that we teach and show people how to use gambling as a side hustle. We get right into it. Drop some comments, leave us some notes about terms or things you didn't hear or games that you might want us to look at for the following week. Obviously, this show was recorded the week before, so we get ahead of the line. But we want to get things going, man. I'm not going to hear spiel. We've been doing this for a long time. So if you ain't get with it, then get with it on the money train. We use our handy dandy sports book. Been doing well on DraftKings. Let me bring up DraftKings real quick here. All right. I don't like that view. That view's, you know what I mean? Let's bring it right here. Let's bring it right here. Now, if you don't know, this is a sports book. I'm sure you do if you've been watching the show. And these are the lines that we're going to look at for week 0 coming up here. Now, we talked about this on a couple other shows, Gambling Nights last night. So if you guys haven't seen that, go and check that out. About how the state of college football has changed as we know it. And this will obviously reflect giving out the goods already, bro. Look at me. Giving out the goods already. How this will affect games and how people play, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So we have week 0 on the docket. Do you have a bet for any of the Saturday games so far? I do have one best bet. I want to walk through it and talk through it with you, but any of these games coming up, obviously a lot of changes. People went to the NFL. Any games up here you see that you might take a stab at?
So first things first. Obviously, it's week 0. A
Yes.
lot of people are on the edge of their seat, ready to put any type of action on any type of games that's dealing with football. So I would say it's week 0, guys. We got plenty of action happening in the weeks to come. Take your time. Don't rush into it. Don't empty the clip so early, especially trying to force action where there may not be any. At the same time, saying that there are some interesting games, some interesting lines. Looking at the first game here at 12 o'clock p.m. on Saturday, Florida State versus Georgia State. I mean, Georgia Tech. I apologize.
Yep.
Florida State, man, this is almost like a redemption game. Obviously, last year we've seen what happened to them, not making the playoffs, going undefeated. Obviously, lost their starting quarterback heading into the final week of the
That
season.
ain't all they lost, bro. They lost a lot. I don't know about this line. This
No,
line
no,
was
I
tough.
mean, as far as like last year, as far as what happened last year, I was just saying, just giving a little background
Okay.
story. They got snipped from the college playoffs.
They did.
They got blown out in a bowl game
They did.
against Georgia. I think Georgia put up 50
60.
to 60 on them.
Yep. They did. It was ugly.
Obviously, you can just tell they were just deflated going to that game, but they didn't make the playoffs. I think this is a redemption opportunity for them. The line opened at 12
Really?
and a half and now dropped down to 10 and a half. They did lose a lot of players. They're not coming back as a team as they were last year. Lost their starting quarterback, but
Is
Norvell,
there teaser action for you?
This could see. I
Is
even
this
thought
is
about
this
teaser action
is
because I don't know
is
if I
this
want
is
to
this an
start.
action button for
This,
you?
this will be just probably straight bet, right? I'm looking at two things here. No, I might do teaser. It might be Florida State teased with the over.
Okay.
So I like the opportunity that Georgia Tech has to be able to score the football here. I think the depth of Florida State, Norvell has put in a program over the past 5 years to have depth. So I don't think he's going to have any issues moving forward in the program. Georgia Tech
Really?
Georgia Tech defense has been leaky. That's their biggest downfall is their defense.
This
Florida
is true.
State can control the ball, run the football, play action off the football, be able to put points up. Georgia Tech is returning 4 or 3 of the 4 starters from last year. They're playmakers. Um,
They had two. So I did some research on this game. And obviously, if you don't know, the quarterback for Florida State is DJ from Oregon
yep.
State. I'm not going to butcher his name. I should have practiced his last name, but I'm not going to butcher it for y'all. DJU. We just put that. DJU is out there at Florida State for the quarterback. And then they lost Benson. They lost Coleman. They lost who was the receiver on our team? Big boy. Was it Wilson? The big receiver, 6'6" receiver.
Yeah, I think I know. Yes, they did. They did.
Yeah, they lost him.
Yeah, I
So you
mean, but
so
it's
you're talking about between Benson, Coleman, Wilson. I think they lost their starting tight end as well. He went drafted as well. You're talking about 80 catches last year, gone. And you get a new quarterback. I see why this line is dropping, bro. I really do. And I think it's in Dublin. The game's in Dublin.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
So
I'm okay with that.
okay.
They've been out there. They unlike Del State, they didn't miss their plane. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They out there. They're doing their rounds. They're doing their charity and spots.
Yeah.
But I think this Florida State team will be able to just be more physical up front on the front D line as far as like controlling the football game, able to run the football. Obviously, their new quarterback that they have has been experienced. He started in Clemson, went over to Oregon State, and now he's at Florida State. It's kind of crazy saying that college kids are just bouncing around,
Yeah.
but it is what it is. So they have experience and veteranship at the quarterback position
Okay.
and playing winning football. Obviously, that started at Clemson, so I'm not really too worried about the replenish of Florida State. It's Florida State. They're
Yeah,
five-star recruits.
they're gonna have talent.
Norvell's a great coach, so we see that happen all the time. Georgia
Yeah.
Tech is the only thing I this is why I like the over here, especially if I tease it down and go on the over side, because I
Yeah.
think Georgia Tech is bringing back most of their offensive
They
line,
are.
they're bringing back
Yep.
most of their playmakers.
They had
Their
some
quarterback is
transfers on
back
that
in
defensive line
right.
too.
So I think offensively they'll be there. They'll just be leaky on the defensive side until they get that roundabout. So give me a teaser. I was going to actually just take the 10.5 because I like that number better than 12.5. I would like to get it to 10, so I might wait till kickoff and see if it gets to 10. So possibly 9.5, and I'll just take it straight up and no teaser. But we can do a little teaser. We can do a little half a unit teaser. Georgia Tech, Florida State. We'll take Florida State tease down, and we'll go over 50. Over the 7 points will be 48.
So the key thing about betting, everybody who's watching, is that you have to understand that you got to shop around at certain books. So DraftKings, since mostly everybody has these type of books on their phones, that won't let you do same game teasers, right? So you got to shop around a little bit, see if you can find a book that allows you to do it in the same game. Some offshore books allow you to do same game teasers as well. So not a proponent of that or advertising that, but people get it in how they get it in. So we're not going to act like we don't know. So I do like the bet. I would probably lean Florida State in some type of teaser to get them down under that key number of try to get them under 3 or do a 10-point teaser. I'm not a big fan of 10-point teasers. I didn't do well in 10-point teasers last year. They always kind of bit me in the ass. So, but I do like the other way too as well, teasing up Georgia Tech to 20.5 as well, because I do agree with you. I think that Florida State's going to have to find its footing and see what kind of offense they're going to be. Obviously, I think they're going to run the ball a lot more with what they have, especially from the quarterback position. So I like the bet, but no bet for me here on this game. But I do like where your head's at and like where you're betting at. All right. I think you know what? let me just see real quick. I think you can do it. You can get away with it in the same game parlay, and you do the game line of. They won't let you go the other way. They gotta let you go the other way. Yeah, they won't even let you get to the money line. Right? You would have to do money line bet. It's probably not even going to look good. And then over, they won't even let you get past 40. Right? Tease it down and go over. Right? And that's minus 130, which is close, but your odds are just way off. Well, no, not really, because it's not a 2-team 10-point teaser. So it would actually be, yeah, you can't even really get a good number. Plus 118. I don't really like that at all. So I would actually go the other way. If we're betting on here, I would go, you wish that was at 17, that's what you, then over the 50 might be a little bit better bet. But you can see how you can kind of play with it and get the number that you want. So I might have to find it outside of DraftKings. All right. For my next bet on Saturday's slate, I was a big fan of them last year, bro. Big fan of the SMU. Was it Stampedes? I think they are they called? Or Mustangs. Mustangs. I'm sorry. Mustangs. Now I'm having a hard time handicapping this game, bro. And I'm gonna
line is flying up.
And I'm gonna show you why. Right. And this is why. So this was at 30 when I was looking at it. And I believe it was at 14.5. And I went back, and Nevada wasn't shit last year. They were 2-10 last year. And it's been a while since Nevada been good at anything. Right. And I'm trying to look quarterbacks coming back from SMU. That kind of really all I was kind of worried about. Offensive line, for the most part, is coming back. So SMU is bringing back, a lot of their key players that made them successful last year. But this is where I'm confused at, is the first half team total points. So we have 6.5 over, right? And 21.5. And if you look at the line, you can see where Vegas is kind of thinking about where this line is going to be. But the total was at 30.5. That's where it was when I looked at it yesterday. So the line is kind of dipped down a little bit. I was kind of leaning the under anyway. But I'm just trying to think to my head, how did they get the 30 points? Because at first it was 30, so there was an extra point kind of hanging out there that Vegas hung out there, and I thought it was a bad line. And I'm just thinking in my head, so they're telling me that Nevada's probably going to score a touchdown. Like, this is what this line is telling me. But it's saying that SMU might get 3 touchdowns, probably get 3 touchdowns. Seems like the under is a little bit better. And if that's a touchdown and that's 21, right? Or I guess at this point, 22-24, I feel like there's another point out there. And then I was like, all right, well, let me go to the spread, alternate spread, and kind of play with this, right? And I just saw that when you go down to like maybe minus 11, they updated their odds a little bit. It seemed kind of even to me, right? And like even this, the under 33.5, for them to get under. So it was either telling me that SMU is going to get blown out in the first. Nevada's going to get blown out in the first half, or Nevada's going to make it a game in the first half. And I was like, no, I don't think so. I'm not. I don't think that's going to happen. So I was trying to figure out, like, do you think Nevada's going to score in the first half?
So what do you? I mean, 29. The line is at 29.5, right?
It was at 30 when I looked at it, so it dropped. Right. So I'm basing it off what I saw yesterday. It was at 30. And it was at 30.5, and the under was like minus 111.
And the totals were the same for the team totals were the same?
Yeah, the team totals were the same. Team totals haven't shifted. Odds shifted a little bit. I think this was minus 160 for 6.5.
Well, it balanced out, so
Yeah, it did. No, it
right,
corrected itself. Yeah,
right.
it definitely it corrected itself. So maybe I missed out on the bet. Um, but I feel like SMU is going to have all gas and no brakes in this game.
Yeah, and they should. I think for first off, Nevada's going to struggle offensively. They're not really returning too many people from last year. They got a new head coach. I think the notes
Yeah,
is
they do from
saying
Texas.
right. They're only returning 6 starters on offense, and they also had the sixth worst offensive success rate in the season last year. So this is a whole new ball games. SMU's defense was solid, seventh in the country on success rate on the defensive side of the football. I think that's going to transition and carry with them. They have their starting quarterback who was nice. I think he's up for a lot of awards this year potentially out of SMU. Um, so I think they're going to get after him fast. I like the spread at minus 13 and a half. I think Nevada's going to have a hard time to score in this ball game.
Yeah,
To be
not
honest.
it was 14 and a half. So money's coming in on Nevada a little bit. Why I
Yeah.
don't know. And that's why I couldn't understand. I'm like, why is there money coming on Nevada? I just didn't understand
Right,
why.
and we also gotta look at I don't know what the weather is gonna be too. I guess we gotta look at the weather, if there's
I
gonna be
mean,
any
if anything, it's
implications
gonna
for
be
it
hot as hell, right?
or rain.
Eh, I you've always been good with the weather. Let me check that real quick. But I'm with you. I think this is going to be a best bet. My first best bet of the season. Is the that was 25. Is the line at 13 and a half. SMU first half.
And look at quarters too, I like that. I do like that bet. I like the 13 and a half. The
Quarters
line
is six
obviously
and a half.
six
I thought I
and
saw. Should it
six
be
and a half.
six and a half? Yeah, first quarter, but it's minus 142. Can't
Yeah,
take that. It's too high.
over 13 and a half, so 2 touchdowns. You gotta worry about Nevada not scoring.
Yeah,
Um,
and
okay.
Nevada don't got no pass rush. That's the other thing. Like they got
I
zero pass rush.
I also would look at Nevada's team total under too. I think that's what, 14 and a half right now?
Let me see. I'm not sure if it's up on their site yet. Yeah, I don't think it's up yet. It should be up though. It's already
Well, you
Thursday.
had SMU's first half team total, right? How did you get
That
the
was just
first
yeah, that was half though.
so it should be under full game, right?
Yeah, let me go back.
Team total right there.
Yeah, team total. But remember they got the scale. It used to be a fixed line. Now they scale
Okay.
it.
So
Yeah,
at
but
13 and a half.
the 14 and a half right
s-
there, minus 135.
Yeah. It's
Let
a
me
little
get
juicy. It's a little juicy.
Nevada versus SMU weather. Just to be sure, that's a good call. I didn't even think about the weather. I'm just thinking it's gonna be hot as hell. Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah,
Yeah,
unfortunately we missed the line. The line's at 25 now. It opened at minus 21 and a half. I think that was an opportunity for you to jump in for the SMU. I think they rolled Nevada here. Obviously,
yeah,
Nevada's heading into the AC. SMU's heading to the ACC, but they don't have no problem with lower competition. They might have some problems in the ACC, but I think they'll be able to
right.
roll here on lower competition against Nevada. So I
Yeah,
like your first half bet. I
I like the
would I
first
would
half.
I would follow you on that one for sure.
All right, cool. First best bet. All right.
Let's go to the main game of the weekend, baby.
All right, hold on. I'm getting there. I thought I had something. I thought I had a whole. Nah, I don't have that. I thought I had a little graphic or something. Maybe we add it later. All right. What Sunday?
Oh, actually, you know what? Let's go back up. I did have a line. I did have a game, Montana State. So look, so this Montana State
Okay.
versus New Mexico is very interesting, right? I think the line opened up at minus 10 and a half. I did miss that. I was just kind of waiting to see if it was going to flip. Montana State is a team that's in the FCS, right? They're not an FBS team playing an FBS team, but usually you have that top tier FCS teams using the top four, top five, like Montana State is. They're usually better than the bottom bottom quarter of the FBS teams such as New Mexico, Nevadas of the world. To
Yep.
see that this line is almost a 2 touchdown line for FCS team to come and beat an FBS team is pretty remarkable. And I think I'm going to take that. So what I might do is actually tease Montana State
Mm-hmm.
You get that 3-team teaser if you wanted to get that 10 points with Florida State.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that'd be one of my plays here. I think Montana State's going to dominate. This is an opportunity for these guys to showcase themselves. Obviously, potentially to dominate an FBS team, regardless who the team is. This is a good time for Montana State to show out, and I think they will do that here in this spot. They're
I mean,
bringing
the
back
line says it, right? The line
the
absolutely
line. The
screams
line
it.
says it. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, the
Yep.
line screams it. So, yeah, I'm right there with you on that one. That I didn't watch Montana State that much last year, so I want to watch
Right.
them first and then get a handle of what type of team they are.
The only thing about this, you just got to take advantage of this. New Mexico. This is what you got to worry about. New Mexico. New Mexico is only returning 2 offensive starters. That's
Wow.
it. 2, with none of them being on the offensive line. All right.
Mm. So a whole new O line playing together.
Right. And who's
That's
going this is what happens like this new football era. This is what happens now when you're going to start seeing these lower bottom tier teams continue to be depleted. Right? So because who's going to want to go to New Mexico right now? Even if it was back in the day for an opportunity. There's so much transfer portal opportunity that people are getting out of there so quick, so fast that is going to leave these lower teams in shambles. And that's what you're going to start seeing with these lower tier teams. They're going to just kind of just get depleted. Give me Montana State, man. I like that number. I'm gonna put them in a teaser with Florida State. That will be the play. It'll be 3-team teaser, 10 point. We're gonna take Florida State. We're gonna take Montana State, and we're gonna take the over in that Florida State game. That'll be my max play of the week.
nice, nice. Yeah, I'm looking at it. I mean, look at this. I mean, they're plus 115 just to get almost 37, 38 points. Like they're gonna. It seems like they're gonna score, and they're gonna score in bunches. They might throw up 40. And like even here with the over, they're only going to get close to 3 touchdowns.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? What tells me what's the over in touchdowns? Montana State 4.5. So 5 touchdowns, 35. Yeah. So and then barely get to 2. So 35, 14. Yeah.
And
Um,
it's about the energy. Who's going to be really ready for this game? Montana State's going to be ready to play this game. This is a big opportunity for them to play FBS school. You know what I'm saying? New
yeah.
Mexico's trying to find who they are. They don't even know what's happening. I'm sure they. So
Yeah.
that's gonna be my play. I love that play there. We get them down to 2.5. We'll get Florida State down to what 2.5, and we'll get the over 45 in that game. I think we'll be straight. I think that's a good play.
Yeah. I like that play. Good call. Good call. All right. Let us take it back to some more games. So that was my only week 0 game of the week. We'll be back for next week. So I mean, but we can look ahead a little bit, maybe. Was
No,
there
how about
some
you stop disrespecting my team? I got a hat that's telling you what
oh
we
you are
doing.
you taking 40? How about the this John? Let me hit him with this, right? Florida State, Montana State. Let's go down.
Nah. Hold on.
Let's go.
I ain't say all that. I ain't say all that.
Hold on. Let me put my teaser in, right?
No,
We
don't do
going
that. Don't do that.
don't
Don't
do
do that.
that. Don't do a 10-point teaser.
I don't know. I think, like I said this in the podcast yesterday.
They gonna lose by 50, bro.
It's a long travel. That's 10 hours, 11 hours travel. They missed the
Oh, they
plane
gonna lose by
early.
50.
Hawaii's returning a lot of offensive players, man. They got a rhythm over there in Hawaii. I think Hawaii's gonna be much
Ooh.
better. It's a potential, but this is what I would look at in this game. We're talking about green. Obviously, that's my team. Dell State is where my alumni is at. Blood, sweat, and tears for that football team. Obviously, I'm repping hard. At the end of the day, we're gonna talk about money here. I would like to
Mhm.
take a look at that game, just look at Hawaii's team total and see where it's at.
Sure. So team total, damn, they are going to put up 50. Oh no, yeah, team total points. We had 50. God damn. Woo! Are you going to bet them to go 50?
Yeah,
You said
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I like to get 50. I mean, in order you to win by 40, you got to get 50, right? You got to somewhat get. I mean, maybe you can just go 41, 42 nothing. But I think the way Hawaii runs their offense, they're very fast, very quick, and they're going to give trouble to Delaware State. It's a tough matchup. Traveling all the way over there, they have what 2 days they have to get adjusted to that time zone. Then they got to play a football game by Sunday. By the second half, they're going to probably be really really tired and gassed. And that's when the opportunity to hit that 50. I think 50 is easy. I think at an even number like that, at plus 100, I think that's great value for Hawaii to hit up 50 points.
Wow. Great handicap. Great find. He said, I'm wearing a hat, but they going to get a 50 burger.
I mean, don't mean that. I mean, they could be, like I said, we go Del State 51-50. We gonna do what we gonna do.
I mean,
It's gonna be it's gonna be a shootout.
You said 50, though. Like, even look at the under 49.5 on the other side, minus 170. Like,
What's Del State's team total?
7. 7.5.
I like the over there.
No, you don't.
I do. I like the over 7.5.
Then you might as well go 9.5. They're not gonna get a safety. This is the bet. If you bet Del State over, you got to go 9.5.
I like them to get 10.
You got to,
like
yeah. You keep it clean.
But I like it more over 50. I like Hawaii over 50 more than I like that. But I think the value is there at even money. I think you get opportunity there for sure.
That's funny. All right. So we will conclude our week 0 college football picks. There are more games, but we will be back next week for the official start of the college football season.